The worst night to fall asleep? Christmas Eve, because Christmas Santa is coming and so are all the presents. This Christmas I got one of my favorite gifts is a coaster, and it says RV there yet, from my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, and that's because I love going off in my camper van. But one thing that I've learned about my camper van is that sleeping can be a little bit choppy when you're not used to it. So I've only had this camper van for 2 or 3 months, and I've been going away every second weekend or so. And I do find that it's a little sleep racking to sleep in different places, in different cities, in different neighborhoods. I picture myself when I can't sleep in the cradle of God's hand. So literally in his palm. And this has been helping a lot lately because in November it's very windy and lots of rain, buckets of rain and windstorms up against the window, and the whole van is shaking and it's kind of scary. Picturing myself in God's palm, or the palm of his hand, makes me feel safe, warm, and in a cocoon, and it really does help me fall back asleep. If it's 3 a.m. or later, I'll get up. I like to get up at 4 a.m. and I often wake up naturally at about 3:45, maybe 10 after 4. But if I wake up at 3 a.m., 3:15, 3:30, I'll get up and I'll make some coffee. Just sit in silence in God's presence. So I don't even think about it as meditating or praying. I just sit in silence and I write and I drink my coffee and I love it. So that's my favorite time of the day, and that's why I like getting up at 4. And if I get up earlier, so much the better. I have a feeling my body's natural rhythm is just, hey, it's about 3 a.m. or later. It's time to get up and start your life or your day. Because I'd rather be awake and doing what I love instead of lying in bed trying to fall asleep. The reason I'm sharing these sleep tips with you and more that are coming soon is because I got an email from a reader. She just asked for some sleep tips, and so I thought, well, I'll ask my She Blossoms newsletter list, my subscribers, for tips on what helps them fall asleep. And I put them here in my basket from Africa, and I'm just going to pull out one at a time and read them. So this reader says, when I can't sleep, I try the following: lavender oil on pulse points, a weighted blanket. And I've heard of these. I think they have them for dogs as well as people and children. They're called thunder blankets, and it just makes you feel like you're cocooned and maybe in a womb, similar to me feeling like I'm in the palm of God's hands. Sleeplessness is a longtime friend of mine, so I do understand the frustration and exhaustion all too well. Here's some things that I do. Rhythmic focus. She said she plays music with a rhythmic beat but no words. The sound of rain and thunderstorms, and there is an app, a sound app that has rain and thunderstorms that might help. My kittens purr, so get a kitten and make it purr. Turn a nature documentary on low because the narrator's voice is calming, and she counts her inhales and exhales, taking deep rhythmic breaths. She says she does mental imagery as well. She closes her eyes, focusing on all her senses, and she remembers the curves of her kids' faces, the sound of their breathing, their scent, the softness of their skin when I caress them or kiss their fingers, and their face from when they were babies and when I rocked them to sleep. I think about each of my lost or deceased pets or people from earlier times of my life, and I reminisce about the good memories. Sometimes my mind and memories are vivid enough that it feels like they're right here with me now. And finally, she says, I pray as though having pillow talk. Sometimes in my head, sometimes out loud. I find it calming to speak to God and Jesus, sharing my worries and expressing my gratitude as though I was talking to a trusted friend, spouse, or family member. The next one, recently I find that reading a magazine helps quite a bit. There is something about the action of having my eyes move back and forth, combined with reading short articles, that sets my mind in a good place to get some rest. The next one, I drink water before bed and I have a large tumbler on the nightstand. Being well hydrated helps prevent leg cramps and it's good for everyone's general health. Waking up dehydrated is not good. I don't drink caffeine after mid-afternoon to avoid the brain stimulation and the diuretic effect. The next one, there have been nights that I wake up in the middle of the night. Actually, it's between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. That's when I pray to God. I talk to Him. Since the passing of my husband, I pray a lot. It is hard to put into words. I just know that when I'm praying to God, I can feel that He is right there beside me. It's been a little over 3 years since my husband passed away. Last night, I felt a comforting feeling of my husband very close to me. It was a brief moment and a very wonderful feeling. This one's funny. I get up for a wee and I go back to bed. If that does not work, I get up and brew myself some tea. I make a list of anything on my mind. I then tidy up the bed, shake and thump my pillow. I smooth some arnica gel all over my body, arms and legs. Shake some lavender oil on the duvet cover. After this, I am usually bored enough to fall asleep. Not a guarantee, of course, but I work on the principle that tidy surroundings make a tidy mind equals sleep. P.S. This does not work when there is a full moon. Good job. My personal way to fall asleep is to push all my thoughts aside and start to pray, slowly and methodically, and within 5 minutes I'm dreaming. If not, then I start praying for those in need, those infirm, and those who requested my prayers. Pray and sooner or later you will fall asleep. If not, then I go downstairs and hit the computer and within 2 hours it's time to lie down and really sleep. Second to last one. I do different things depending on the time, how I feel, and what's appropriate. Sometimes I just lie quietly and wait for dawn. Why wait? There's nowhere to go and not a good time to call someone. Oh, okay. Even if it takes every minute to get through, eventually dawn will come and you can get up and go out. Actually, I walk at 5 a.m. and it's not anywhere near dawn, and it's perfect because no one's out except me. If I am very emotional, I let it out by crying, writing it down, or thumping a pillow. And the last one, I use the app Headspace when I wake up but cannot fall back asleep. There is a section titled Nighttime SOS for guided exercises that help you sleep when you wake up in the night. May you have a good sleep tonight, tomorrow night, and the rest of your life. And if you don't have a good sleep, may you find something excited that you're interested in, that you want to wake up and get out of bed and do, whether it's 3 a.m., 5 a.m., or 10 a.m. May you take good care of yourself, because you are worth taking good care of. Mwah! Are we there yet? RV dreams. We are there. We are there yet. We are.